Welcome back to the First on Film podcast. Today, I'm joined by an actor who has an incredible career spanning film, television, comedy, and animation. You may know him from Kids in the Hall, That 70s Show, Lilo and Stitch, and countless other projects. Please welcome Kevin McDonald to the podcast. Kevin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very fine, thank you. I'm putting my head down so no one can see my lined neck.
No problem. Today, we're talking about your latest film that you're in, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. It's a
Yeah.
wonderfully strange and twisted take on the horror and slasher genre. I want to start by asking you, what would you first think about the script when you read it, and what was your one of your immediate reactions?
My immediate reaction was, wow, this is a good script. I never get good scripts. And then my second immediate reaction was, oh, because I'm lazy. I'm older now and I'm lazy. So, oh, too bad that the part is too small. Not in an egomaniac way. Just like I had to fly all the way to the other side of the country to shoot it. And I thought, I'll go and watch this movie. But I don't want to go all the way there. And like small parts. I told my agent. I said, tell Jane that I really like the script. The part's small, and it's just I'm too lazy to go over there. And then no way did I say, tell Jane if you make the part bigger, I'll come. In no way did I say that. But somehow it made Jane think of a good idea, and she kind of made my part bigger. And it's one of those things where you make like a part bigger, and it sort of helps the movie. I mean, if I can act in it, I don't know. Let's say let's pretend that I can act. Then, for argument's sake, so I can act. And so I was kind of excited, and then I said yes right away. But those are my immediate reactions. But in no way did I tell my agent, if the part's bigger, I'll come. I swear to God, I would never do that. I'm a Canadian.
So they added a couple. Jane added a couple of scenes or a couple
Yeah,
moments.
it was a really good idea. I don't want to ruin anything, but I sort of played two characters and one character at the same time. I don't want to. I guess you've seen it. I don't want to ruin any.
Yes, I have. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
And Jane has such a distinctive filmmaking voice,
yeah.
especially after the film I Saw the TV Glow. What was it like stepping on to one of their sets and approaching the material?
What was amazing, it seemed like a tight crew. Like I know a lot of the crew were probably local from Vancouver Island, but it seemed that Jane was had worked with a lot of the people before. I didn't ask. I'm a shy, quiet Canadian, but it seemed like a good family. Like Martin Scorsese always uses the same crew and stuff, and everyone seemed to know what everyone wanted when they said what they wanted. And it was sort of fun. I walk on a lot of sets where I go, oh, this may not be a good movie, but I walked on this set and I said, "Oh, this may be a good movie." Usually what I say, "Oh, this might be a horrible movie." So that's quite a difference. So it was fun on the set. It was shot in such a pretty place, like Vancouver Island, and it was fun. When I wasn't filming, my best friend Norm, who wrote with me in The Kids in the Hall, he lived
Yeah.
there. It was just a wonderful experience.
And you're from Montreal, correct?
I was born in Montreal. I moved when I was 7, and I grew up in Mississauga, Ontario, a suburb of Toronto. I
Oh,
said
so
that like
you're
a
you're
robot. Sorry,
you're
go on.
you're lo you're local. You're local. I'm probably down the street from you at somewhere.
Oh, are you in Mississauga right now?
I'm like Lakeshore area, at the
Oh, do
border
you
of
know Credit
Mississauga.
Woodlands? I lived in like Credit Woodlands.
Oh yeah, yeah.
By five
Okay,
and
okay.
ten. I live by five, and then we moved, and I live by 5 and 10. So there, Mississauga. Yeah,
Yeah, Mississauga. One of the things that I love about the movie is how much it feels like you're immersed in the history of Camp Miasma and how much it actually exists. They put a
yes.
lot of work into creating this history and this backstory. There's so many layers in the mythology and the nostalgia built around this fictional franchise. Did that affect the way you approach the character and maybe at some point decide to actually join the film?
Yeah, well, at the very least, it did in a subconscious kind of way. Because it did, it's sort of after a while, you started thinking that, like after you read the script a while and then you rehearse a few times, and then by the second take, you're going, this is sort of like a real movie from the 80s, or a real movie series from the 80s. It really seemed like I was in the 80s. And I remember thinking, "Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street is good. Oh, the second one is not good. Oh, the third one is better than the first." Like when you're like a movie buff, you talk and those kind of things. And Jane did an amazing job of making it seem like it was just another one, not just another one of those '80s movies, but like just another one of those '80s movies in the good way. That it seemed like it was something that really existed, and it sort of made it easier when I hesitate to say the phrase when I acted. When I read the lines, I don't know if legally I was acting, but certainly was the way it was written, the way that everything was set up. Even the sets were amazing. Like it was sort of I hesitate to use the word, but it was sort of like a film done by an auteur.
Okay, okay. Now you've worked across comedy, television, animation, and all sorts of films throughout your career. What was it like stepping onto a horror set?
Well, it was odd. At first, it was easy. Not easy, but first it wasn't odd because Jane wrote some good comedy for me, and I said to Jane at one point, "You could, you should write a straight out comedy." And Jane got very excited. I'm glad I'm glad that I said that was exciting. But then when again, I don't want to ruin anything, but when it's something happens to me that traditionally happens in a horror movie, that was kind of weird. That was kind of, hey, I'm in a horror movie right now. Though inside I was thinking funny thoughts. So for like on the outside, I wasn't satirizing being whatever I was, what was ever happening to me. I don't want to ruin it in a horror movie. But the inside, I was sort of thinking of jokes. And it's sort of Bob Odenkirk once said when they asked him how come you can like straight act, he said the first take he always does very funny to get that out of his system, and I sort of copied that
Okay, okay.
in that
There
particular.
are a ton of nostalgic elements to the film. Um, Again, trying not to give too much away, but one of them is a conversation about like physical media and callbacks to a lot of like artistic elements to physical media that are lost nowadays with streaming services.
I know.
Now, like even just the DVD intros, the DVD intro screen, that have
All
a
right.
lot of playful elements, right? And there's callbacks to like VHSs, and it baffled me that even nowadays DVD is considered like really outdated and old media.
Yeah, I remember when that was new. Like a DVD player, I just got my VHS player. Like I remember.
Now,
Yeah.
do you have any cool memorabilia or art or DVDs that you cherish, or any cool pieces of physical media that you enjoy?
I will never, even though I don't have a DVD player anymore, I will never get rid of my DVDs. And what's priceless to me is my Al Pacino set. I have like Serpico and Dog Day Afternoon and the Godfather movies and Justice for All and another one. And I bought it at a famous place that no longer exists in Los Angeles when I lived there. And it's one of my pride and joys. And even though I'm not thinking I'll get a DVD player soon, it would be impossible for, I'm not a hoarder. But it would be impossible for me to get rid of it. It just brings me a lot of joy knowing that if I had a DVD player, I could see Dog Day Afternoon anytime I wanted. I guess you can. I could stream it anytime I wanted, I guess. But it's just not the same. Like I grew up in like big sets. It's funny how small TV sets were back then, but they're huge now compared to your phone. There.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And also, I
Now,
think nowadays, with every character in a movie has a cell phone. Movie thrillers are ruined when the person's on the run from the back. When the cops think that the star killed the person, even though they didn't, they're on the run. All they have to do is cell phone and move their money around in accounts and stuff before the cops. Like a thrillers must be ruined nowadays, like spy thrillers with
you know
cell
what?
phones.
I didn't think of that. I guess that's why so many of them like to be situated in like the 80s and the 90s because cell phones don't
Yes.
exist.
Because the person's on the run, they can't go to their bank. The police are there. They can't do anything. Even the payphone is kind of dangerous, and then so they go on trains. That's when a thriller. Now I sound like an old guy. That's when a thriller was a thriller. When cell phones used to be trains.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take a 3 day train. And instead of calling her in New York, I'll take a 3 day train to New York. And Thrillers remarks that I always think that Thrillers must be really.
Yeah. It just made me think of a movie that I watched last year, it premiered at TIFF, and it just came out recently, Carolina, Caroline. It was a heist movie, and it also took place in the 90s, and it just came out.
Yeah, yeah. If you're gonna write like a Hitchcock like thriller, it's gotta go before the early 2000s for sure.
One of my favorite characters you've ever played is Pastor Dave
All
on
right.
that 70s show. And you have so many iconic one-liners in that show. And I'm curious, what was like the level of like improvising you were allowed to have in the moment, or is all of it was all of it scripted?
Most of it was scripted. They were good writers. Mark Brazil was like the head writer, and he was a very good writer. But he had like I didn't get to audition. That's why I got the part. I didn't have to audition. He like the Kids in Hall were on a reunion tour, and he saw it in Los Angeles, and then they were like going to audition for that part. But then the next day, he just called my agent, and I was just lucky. And because of that, because he knew my background, he let me. You can't ad lib like when you're filming. The audience is there, and the cameras go on your lines. But during rehearsal, I remember I did not a lot because I was nervous, but I guess over the years I did like 4 or 5 ad libs that were allowed in, and that was because Mark Brazil, like a good writer, knows when to let people ad lib, I think.
Okay, okay. And I know you weren't in the show a lot, but one of my favorite comedies was Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and
All right,
you played the Disco Strangler in that show. Now, as small of a part as you had, it is a very, very uh pivotal moment for Captain Holt and his backstory. So,
right.
as even small roles are important at some point. So now, was there ever talks to come back and play the Disco Strangler?
I hate to break your heart, and you're the 100th person, more than 100 people. That I guess that actor looked like me. I wasn't in that one, even though like Norm, my best friend, was the showrunner of it. And I heard that maybe they said do it like Kevin McDonald, and the guy probably said who, and they probably sent him tapes. But I'm not in that. I swear to God,
You're not in it at all,
I'm not in it at all.
but you're credited at.
I know, I know. I don't know
How
what
does that
happened.
make sense?
I don't know. I gotta tell my agent like called the day after it came out and said you can't do a part without us. And I said, well, what do you mean? I
It's
didn't.
everywhere. It's like all over
I know,
IMDb.
and it's iconic. So people keep coming up to me like all the time. I guess I have to see it. I'm guessing they
Oh
look
my
like me.
gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
does it
it's
look
honestly like a split second. It's a split second scene.
right?
Oh,
Wow.
that's interesting. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Kevin, thank you so much for chatting today. This has been
Thank you.
lovely. Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma is playing at theaters here in Canada starting
Yay.
this Friday, August 14th. So if you're watching this podcast, please go support this film. It is a very, very cool and interesting take on the horror and slasher genre. Kevin, this has been awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm gonna
Thank you.
go see
Thank
that
you.
show. See a split second of me. Thank you very
It's
much.
actually very first like a couple opening scenes of the very first episode, the pilot episode.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's easy to find. Thank you.
it's very easy to find. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.